both here today. We're going to talk about um, what's going on and YouTube, and then I'm going to cover a couple things as well, um, including I got a message from somebody said that somebody was very upset with Noodles about the way the trip went last night, and I wanted to give you my viewpoint. And let's see, it's not streaming. It's not streaming. At least it's not on my channel. At least I don't think so. Anyway, let me close all apps. Let me open because I think, yeah, you want to go to YouTube app. This is my app anyway. Michelle has one too. So, let's see. Go here. Okay, got it. Me. Okay, there we go. Um. So, yeah, you want to go to. Okay, sound works. Check the lights. It's kind of a joke. All right. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
All right. How are you?
All right, good. Good.
Just getting our show in.
All right. So,
You one of the new people who moved in here?
huh?
What's your first name?
You know me, Michelle.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, $125.
And of course, right now, this is Lumi's show. My show is kind of combined with Lumi's show. So we're going to talk about. I believe that's Ray's daughter behind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering, Michelle.
So anyway, what me and Lumi are going to be covering to my audiences on the channels watching why we're going to be doing a twofer is we want to cover the different things about the trip. And we wanted to do it outside because it was air conditioned and it wasn't too hot. If I sat in the house to this show, we would both would have been tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle.
So
Michelle.
you never really see, you haven't ever seen Lemmy and her. Ellie, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, Michelle?
That's all right. That's Lemmy and me are different souls in the same body. You know me most of the time.
Yeah. Can I,
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
can I borrow $25?
Excuse me?
Can I borrow $25?
Oh, I don't have money to borrow. No, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah. From. Thinks you want money for cigarettes. No, I didn't have it anyway. No, I know you don't. That's why you spent a lot of money eating out last night. Okay, so let's take a look at the first chat. As Bradley F is facing me. All right, now here's what I'm gonna do. Michelle, your channel's a money bringer. Yes. So I'm gonna do on my chat section is I'm gonna jump out of here. Oh, you don't have to do it. So yes, you do, but you don't. You do what you don't. Yeah. Okay. So what are you suggesting you should do? Just I hate Android. Put it there. Oh, that's what it is. Right there. X button. Okay. So you want me to switch over to your account? Yeah, because that way I can give us thank yous and stuff for the money if anyone makes a donation. Okay. So let's just do that. So switch in is me. Go to Casa Sukasa. Oh, okay, I got it right here. I get screwed up here. Switch accounts. And switch it to Michelle. Got quite a few subs, Michelle. Yes, we do. Many subs. Absolutely. So, okay, so now we're on the right page now. I can get sure Michelle can give thank yous for any donations that comes in. So everybody says welcome here. Nas dead. Who was that? Ellie F said, okay, never mind. Do we get any donations yet? No, not yet. Not yet. All right. I'm already a member of the channel. I'm already a mod. Yeah, I know you are. Where's my chat? Just kicked it out of there. I know. No thanks. Yeah, mod. So how did I put your chat? There you go. Got it back in think. I think I do. I know. You don't have it back. Oh, hey. Oh crap. What did I do wrong? I don't know. I lost your chat. Oh my god. I lost your chat. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. You sure? I'm sure. Yes. We'll find you. We'll find my chat. Okay. Um, if not, let's see. 9 viewers, description. I don't need a description. I need to find the chat. My chat. I found it. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So, well, so just trying to check things out, make sure everything is working. Okay. So Amy says, quit if that expensive now. No one knows. This is going to be hard to keep up with everybody. So please be patient, everybody. We'll try. Read. Hello. Yeah. All right. So Michelle and I received a message that some people are writing Noodles Hard on his channel this morning about the trip. And I thought I would take the time to talk about my view of the trip. Sounds good. Yeah. And make sure this scored. So happy Sunday, everybody. Mimi, how you doing? And also set the thing to all messages. Okay, and set it to everybody. The reason we do that is because, let's see, live chat somebody on. Anyway, perfect. Yep. Okay, that just takes care of that. So what Lumi and I wanted to explain is that we had a very good time yesterday on the show. We had a chance to get up to into good stuff. we we did have some minor mites, but nothing I would call showstopper. Um, Noodles, did keep his promise. He did take us to Trump Tower. We did get a chance to see it. It's New York in general is mind numbing. I actually absolutely anytime I go into New York because of my Asperger's, it is really, really hard to keep up with all the sensory overload of all the noise, the street, the people, the traffic. And then trying to talk to Noodles. At the same time, Noodles is, of course, recording the stream on his phone and holding my phone a couple times. And one of the questions Noodles asks is, why don't you ever ask anyone for directions? Well, I said, well, I do sometimes. Well, basically, the way I usually do it, like finding the restaurant, is more than likely, if it's in a restaurant, it's going to be near the kitchen. And the reason is that way the water and the drain is going to be readily available for the bathrooms because it makes construction easier. So I know Trump Tower certainly wasn't going to do it much differently than that. Because Trump realizes that it's just a means of saving money for production when all the water and sewer is right next to each other. Yeah, we did great yesterday. Absolutely, you did great, and we had a good time. Now, you notice that if you're watching this on my channel, you probably see a third person that didn't talk much in the trip. Carmen. Yeah, I'm sure she'll probably drop in. Although this is a little earlier, and normally she likes to kind of stay in in the background because of you know, people don't really seem to like her very much. I don't really know why. I don't know why either. They just don't. Like Carmen. Oh, watch out. When you flop a butt in the seat like that, Lumi, you're likely to crash the seat. Yeah, we've crushed a few, haven't we? We have, unfortunately. Um, just it was thanks. So Michelle has had for a while. I had it for a while. It's fun for my show. It's also very hot out here. We got a little fan blowing on us too to keep the heat at bay. So I think the one thing that was a little difficult um, with the show that night was the um, Reynolds has a different way of seeing the world tonight now. And so we knew that my hearing wasn't going to get any better, no matter how much we spend on technology. It's the reason why we normally do everything in the studio. Me and Lumi both agree it's easier when you have ability to get speech to text translation live for the chat panels. That's why we're not doing panels today. Because we're outside and there's no easy way to read the speech to text messages. But we still want you to know that we are very much appreciative of all the people that came and watched and resubbed. And I say resubbed because many of you guys, um, given the number of very limited number of new subscriber notifications that we got in our email, tells me that you guys originally were subbed and then desubbed and then resubbed. Um, I want to say thank you for coming back, but I also would like to remind you guys to please do check out our other content on both of our channels. Yes, check out the content on both channels because they are. Oh, this cushion is crooked. I got it. Okay, it's better. Anyway, so I don't. We like to see a few more people come to the show, and so let me ask Michelle, when you were depending on my assistance trying to get back to the car from the parking garage after Trump Tower, and Noodle says, "Can't you talk privately, quietly in between yourselves?" And we explained to him it's easier this way. And I don't think we really explained why. We've always been used to talking out loud. So for us, talking out loud is just something we do most of the time. Because it's easier for us, yeah. And it makes it more comfortable for us because we can share information and ideas. And because it's a stream in this case with Noodles, it actually gives you an idea of the rapport between me and Lomi of what we do every day. We are always in communications. We're always like she was helping me look for landmarks that I may have missed, or I knew a few landmarks that she missed, and then we were able to manage to how to get back to the car in record time because after before we went to Five Guys, my left leg was really hurting really bad. And I knew we could make it home back to the car, but I just didn't want to risk, um, falling. You know, you're in a big city, lots of people, lots of noise, lots of different stimulation coming in from different smells, sounds, textures, like the look out for the cracks on the sidewalk, trying to walk at a fairly quickly pace while you're deep down thinking, oh, the creative background is, are we going to look like a moron on TV? And but you got pretty good at being on YouTube, so you don't feel like a moron most of the time. No, not most of the time. But still, people forget that that Noodles, God bless him, he did um, bring things to the table that I would say were positive. He got us out there. We went to a diner in Sandy Hook. We had breakfast. I mentioned a lot about the breakfast. I thought it was really good. Carmen came in a little bit during breakfast. Yeah, she did. But I think that she kind of felt like maybe she should stay the hell out of the way. Snoodles was joking about exorcisms and all this stuff, and she felt that was kind of disingenuous. Um, but the thing is that Carmen is not a full time resident here. You could say she's a visitor. She slept on that couch. Yeah, kind of like Neil did some nights ago. Last night. Yeah. Slept on my couch. On the physical realm, she sleeps in the couch in the spiritual realm. So, um, so we had that going on. We had the all the other activities going on. Yeah, yeah, the 66%. I know. You got no power brick to charge this thing. I mean, the other phone. Since you got one port plugged into the mains, do you have the other one to plug into the mains? I do. I have one of my USB-C adapters, so we don't have to run out the power bank. Okay. Let's see. Switch this over. Um. Yeah, it was really fascinating last night. I mean, the trip was great. So I don't know why people were treating noodles badly on this channel. From what I was told, I thought that was kind of disingenuous because like, what did noodles really do wrong? Oh, there's sweet stuff to come. You got it. All right. Okay. Um. So what did noodles really do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. There it is. You just So why do people think that Noodles was a bad man? He didn't do anything wrong at all. No, he didn't. Um, this is kind of the night show or the porch show that people wanted to see you do too. Yeah, it's a combined show. It's a combined show between the two channels. So, we just want to make sure we just turn on this one. Kitchy says trolls are just doing what trolls do. Noodle, nobody's real on here. Uh, I want to say that's the talent truth, Kitchy. There are people in here that are real. Me and Michelle are genuine. We're the real deal. We're not playing games or anything. And I hate this wig. I hate the hair. It's because the way it's made. Yeah, it's the hair is kind of. Ugh. Yeah. So let's go back to the screen here. Let's see. So MM says, Lumi, your chat is messed up. Yeah, it is messed up. And it's messed up because you got two different streams. So if you go to my chat, you're going to see the YouTube chat. It's actually sending everybody. It's just a chat from Michelle's chat. Conversely, when you see YouTube, when you're in Michelle's chat, those are the people that are chatting on my channel. The reason we decided to do it on both channels is I need subs too. I actually do need subs. So we got 311. And so I thought, well, since it's really my show today, and instead of trying to have a separate show for Michelle and me, we just do one together. Because we know that the trip was going to be a major topic, and we knew that the trip was going to be. We had this Michelle, the Silver Moon is 7. And if we've been late, we've been late. I don't know if we're going to run late, but we have 14 hours of content to talk about. Yes, we have a lot of content to talk about. So first of all, we got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We left here about 7:30. Originally, there was a little bit of a complaint because Noodle said to me, "Why aren't you using the YouTube streaming app on your phone?" Well, when they upgraded iOS on my iPhone 15, guess what? It doesn't work anymore on the YouTube streaming app. I tried to explain this to Noodles, and he thought I was blowing smoke. And I told him, I said, Noodles, this is the truth. It's not working. I'm showing him. See, it won't even go live. Keep saying retry, 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 retry. At least it's saying that. Before it wouldn't even do that. Right. And that was an iOS update that broke it. It's not um necessarily YouTube app. Oh, I wouldn't put the YouTube out of ignorance too, because they also did updates. So maybe there's something that was done between iOS and the YouTube app that broke something in the API. Right. But we can use straight with the iPhone 8 on your channel and it would have worked fine. As we found out, I streamed it online for a test stream and it worked fine. Well, I didn't think of grabbing the iPhone 8 and then because usually you use the iPhone 16, 15. You don't have the 16. Right, the 16. Which I bought was because it's got USB-C and which has been a really good thing because all these different plugs and cables is enough to give me a headache trying to keep them on track of all of them. So, I just kept an eye on everything and did everything I could to keep peace. Um, I certainly do appreciate all the people that came back, and I say came back as I said earlier, because the real, true, new, unseen before subscribers send me a message that John Doe has subscribed to your channel, an email. We don't get those. When you just returning, you don't get the, John Doe has resubscribed to your channel. That would be nice if we got that, but we don't get those. So we just see a subscriber count go up. And so, and we got a lot of money last night too. Now, Noodles likes to talk about views. Views are, of course, are the bread and butter of YouTube, but it's also YouTube itself is looking for more viewers that engage the audience. Now, last night there was a lot of content coming on the screen. I didn't get a chance to scroll through. You think of what, Bradley? What did I do wrong? Bradley, did I do something wrong? I don't think we did anything wrong. So, what did Michelle do wrong? How Chris, how are you doing? So, what did Michelle do wrong? What did I do wrong? What are you go? Why do you want to say you want to stay away from us? What did we do wrong? That's a good question. What did we do wrong? Yeah, what did we do wrong? Why do I get a feeling we did something wrong? This the way that so many people in China is like they're trying to tell us you guys are messed up. And I don't know if a mess. I'm afraid to take. She will blame you for something. Did you relax? Yes, he did get money. I paid for my breakfast. He paid for breakfast. Michelle paid for the other stuff. Right. He also made a lot of super chats, super donations last night on his channel as well, because he was streaming his show as well as mine, our stream. So that's why he's holding two cameras. And but I'm like, I wonder if you guys are angry at me it's because when I told Gitchy last night. First of all, let's talk about the paranormal night. Michelle sees a lot of stuff that goes on, ghosts, spirits, aliens, ETs, all as within the paranormal field. And even though there are subcategories of paranormal, Michelle doesn't have anybody who knows about the ETs on the Starseed stuff. So she has no one that talks about that stuff. She told a personal story last night that got some people really worked up. It was a story. I mean, it's based on a dream we had. And people immediately went off on a tirade. She started earlier because she realized that she already kind of committed to it, and she realizes, look, well, it's going to take us a while to get home. Let's start the show now. Let's cover the show now while we can. And so we did. So she covered the show on her channel, and the channel grew very well. But then some people took offense to Michelle's story, and the whole paranormal segment of the show was quickly was going down for a nosedive. And some people were, the guests that were asked to join, were starting to feel defensive, like they had to explain everything that they feel about the paranormal. And so Michelle finally dropped out of the Discord panel and said, okay, let me talk to Parasolo, Ancient, David S. in a side chat way, because the panel was getting really confusing. There was a lot of yelling going on, and it was just not going well. And so Michelle was just like, oh, what are we gonna do? That I know I'm trying to make fun of my guests, and we're not trying to make you look bad. And so we just sat there and went, I don't know what we're gonna do. We wanted to try to have a fun show. Actually, Noodles was one of the ones who suggested the paranormal show. And Michelle managed to get Parasol, David S., and Ancient Dan to come up. And Mrs. Soul came too. And I appreciate you guys came. Michelle, appreciate you came. But I know that the topic was a little bit hard for a lot of people to understand. But Michelle does find this stuff fascinating. She just wanted, so she was like saying, "Is well, why can't I ask the questions that I want to know? Maybe Parasol or maybe David, maybe Ancient Dan have a clue what's going on." And so she told the story, and that was a mistake in the sense that that started a slight downhill on the show, and but we're sorry that the paranormal topic didn't quite go well, and it's hard to explain. It's kind of like, it's almost, I don't want to use the term religion because it's not really a religion. It's not a faith system, and after all, I mean, it is a faith system in the sense that you have a belief, you have a strong belief that it's true, but it's not organized religion. There is no doctrine, there's no magisterium, there's no nothing. It's just um, what you detect naturally and with the help of some electronic instrumentation. But the problem is like I did say last night, was this: is there any kind of a certification? So if you buy a piece of equipment on the internet for this, is there any kind of a certifying mark that says that this equipment meets certification from a standards committee or something? And that question really didn't get much of an answer. No, it didn't. So Gidgy said she only reads what she wants in the negative stuff. I read the positive stuff too, guys. I'm reading, we're trying to read up. Golden Girl said, how are you doing? You hoping to do that later? Okay. So remember too, as the channel gets more and more popular, chat is going to go faster and faster on the screen. We have to still scroll back, scroll up to read it all. And so that's going to take a while to do that. Digi still says scroll back. Yeah, how far? Give us an hour, minute, and second. Okay, well, no. Digi was when he said, you think that your real mother is not the one that you lived with all of your life? That sounds like utter madness. And then she goes on and saying to Michelle is, you're full of Merity. Well, I was. After I do a good poop this morning, I was a lot less Merity in me. Yeah. um, but no, I mean, what are you going to say? Is that Michelle was wrong to tell a story? You said yourself, YouTube is a place of stories, and we try to tell positive stories too. Michelle was dog tired. Because you said, yes, I said that. One on your birth certificate. Wait, that's what you're mad about? So what I'm saying is that you're asking experts in the paranormal field. Okay, first of all, and Michelle did correct herself when she said next to Pure Soul, David is H. Dan. I don't have anyone else in any other fields that I could ask on my channel. And that's what she said last night. She said, I'm sorry if this is not your specialty. Everybody wanted to have this paranormal show, and she wanted to start the ball rolling with something, and that's what she started out with. So it wasn't like she was trying to make fun of anything about her death. She wasn't. She really wasn't. Yeah. So it just seemed like that to some, but it wasn't the case. This tarot cards are a scam. It's on both channels, yep. Always have to be a bunch of it. She's not. I need to know exactly the type of paranormal you would question to. Well, first of all, we do want to talk about demonology a little bit. And we want to talk a little bit about especially something that was said on the show last night. The dead know nothing. From Ecclesiasticus. If the dead know nothing, then why is there a spiritual realm? Why is there a spiritual realm if the dead know nothing? That was the question I wanted to ask last night. And I did ask it, but I didn't really get much of an answer. So if the dead know nothing, and yet demonics are said to know everything, then that means the demonics are spirits too that are from dead people. So how would they know anything that the other people don't know about? Good point. I mean, so Ecclesiasticus said the living know of death, but the dead know nothing. And yet, if the dead know nothing, then where did the demons come from? And where do angels come from? Well, we know angels and demons also are higher level. God created everything, right? Including the demons, including because they rebelled. But God created all the angels and the classes of angels. Okay? But you see NDEs, OBEs, people talking about going to the other side, usually going to heaven, some go to hell. And so the question is, and then people come back from the other side, and they remember the trips and then they talk about them. And so the question is if Galacticus is right that the dead know nothing, then how do those people in their NDEs, OBEs remember so much? That's a pretty good point. Why are you missing, like saying what I do with the demonologists? Well, they are, but they're not. Because demons, well, not necessarily demons, but demons do manipulate humans, even on the other side. Is why I think. Wait a minute. I think I get it. A little. I think what it comes down to is what we're talking about is specializations within the paranormal situation. You got the type that paranormal PDX and ancient data are familiar with, which is ghosts, and of those who passed away. That's one branch of paranormal. Okay, it's just like you got like the more of a general practitioners that do everything, right? But then you got your specialists, like your demonics or demonologists. You probably have angelologists. You probably have some groups that deal with star seeds, star children. Dolores Cannon did that. She was into the star seeds and star children. So the So basically, I mean, I'm sorry if I was asking paranormal ancient David S things about another subgroup that they don't work with directly. I wasn't trying to be spiritual with anybody. No. She was just trying to start a show. Yes, they do have paranormal interest too. Could someone please explain to me what what Bradley is upset about? Just go with the show and don't worry and be happy. We're trying to. Brain dead. But right now, apparently, um, Bradley's upset. I don't know what he did wrong, or what I did wrong, or what Lumi did wrong, or if there's somebody else in the chat that did something wrong. So I'd like to know what is it? What's happening here? Jason J says Cynthia Lopez said Mimi hi, and I said hi Mimi, and I think we're gonna stop. I don't think we're gonna do a show tonight, Michelle. I don't think you should. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of anger in the community. Some of it's directed at us. Some of it's directed at each other, and I don't know what's going on. Ancient Dan says, one of my friends, Rosemary Ellen Gully, who passed away a few years ago, was an expert in angels. Thank you, Ancient Dan. Well, that's because Michelle's trying to keep up with the heartbeat of all the stuff that's going on. But the fact is that there's an anger component of this channel that's not thing to do with Michelle. I don't know if the general malaise is at Michelle or at some people in the chat. But I think, Michelle, I think you should not do ceremony tonight because it's not going to go well. You're still feeling a little bit emotionally tired from last night. And you can only see that people don't really feel like having a good time. And they're upset with you and they're upset with me. And it's sad because I don't know what Michelle did wrong. I have no clue either. I don't know why either. So I think, Michelle, I think you should just not have the next silver movie tonight because it's just not going to go well. I don't mean to be negative, Nancy, but just seems to me that there's so much anger in the community that is just not conducive to your health and my health, and having to only get a snippet of the conversation blurs or flies off the screen. We're not sure who's angry at who and why. I know Gizzy's upset with you, but also there's some people that are upset with each other. And I think it's a sad shame because um, we really want to try to grow the channel. Well, before we start considering taking it up for the day, let's talk about um, what's it like to be for me. I love the trip. It was fun. I didn't really like the music that was played at the beginning of the show with the hard rock punk stuff. That was a little bit much to bear. Um, I was a nervous wreck. I really was because I was. Part of me was like, I want to enjoy the trip, but it's just a lot of sensory overload, a lot of noises and stuff like we said at the beginning of the show. Yeah, and the it was just hard. It was hard on me. It was hard on you. It's, I know Noodles was trying to keep everything together, and he tried to. He did a pretty good job. But you know, I just think that a lot of people just took the show and it divided the community in a way that some of it, the people say, well, Michelle's ignoring her comments, Michelle's ignoring her questions. Michelle wasn't trying to, I'm not trying to ignore nothing. I actually do try to keep up in the car. I was trying to keep up with the messages that was going on. And, but everybody says we're sick and tired of seeing your phone in your face, which unfortunately that's how we chat. And so we try to give you eye contact too, but then we miss the chat because we can't see the chat and the phone interface at the same time. And now I'm seeing, like I said, all these angry people. I do appreciate the fact you spent the day with me. Absolutely. But it seemed like some of the people did not appreciate what Noodles was trying to do. He wanted Michelle to get out and to do something different. Michelle said, fine. She agreed to do this. And they had a good time. I mean, as far as Michelle can, as far as physical abilities to do certain things, Michelle did have a good time. And she wasn't complaining about the trip. She had a good trip. Had a good breakfast at in Sandy's Brooks Diner. She had a good chance to talk to people. She got a chance to. Oh, I mean, she didn't talk a lot. She talked to one or two people, salespeople. She talked to the gentleman there, their Siegel. She had a great time, and Noodles had a great time. And then we got a message earlier today that Noodles was being treated badly by some people on his channel because of the trip. Why? It's not like Michelle was being dragged into the trip. She chose to go. And she wanted to go. And I don't think that's unfair. Um, do you have any worry about other people? Well, worry about other people in the sense is that I don't want to see Michelle doesn't either. We don't want to see people go away angry. That's not what these shows are supposed to do. These shows are supposed to be a chance for you to see how a person with multiple handicaps that deals with situations that are challenging. That was what the show was all about. Get to know Michelle, Michelle's world, what goes on in her world, how she does things. And I think that that's important to remember that. Michelle didn't want to see people go away angry. No. And that's the reason why when I heard this morning in the email that Noodles is being treated badly by his own people, I got really upset when I got that message. Was because it was like, why his own people treating him so badly? I thought they were his supporters, and but they were. Some were talking smack about him to the point where I heard that he actually broke down in tears. He shouldn't have to break down in tears. He's doing just what Noodles does. That's all he. That's what he is. No one's gonna. But to make him feel bad is just stupid. Why did you do that? Some people say, "Oh, Michelle doesn't care." Excuse me, I don't care. I don't care. Of course I care. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying to talk to you guys to find out what happened because I want to know. This is a cat flies off the street. I can't always catch up with it. But the thing is, I want to know what did Noodles do wrong to deserve to be ripped in the asshole? What did he do wrong? He didn't drag me on this trip. I went on the trip voluntarily. It's the thing I don't get. Well, I'm feeling uncomfortable staying with Gitchy. I have a wrench. Oh, wait. You have a set with Gitchy now? Oh, throw it last. Okay, look. Gitchy was just expressing her viewpoint. That's her nature. She just expresses her viewpoint. That I want people to show to express their viewpoints. I really do. But remember, we also would like to be able to express our viewpoints too. So you have to be willing to listen to both sides. I was tired last night. 15-hour stream. I was bored. I was bone tired. I mean, I was up since 7:30 in the morning. We didn't end until about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I was, you know, just kind of at the edge of my endurance, and I was trying to keep things together. And that didn't work. I'm sorry, Gitchy. I'm sorry I got mad at you. I mean, as you said a comment, I wanted to be able to refute that comment. That doesn't mean that I'm going to go out there and call you horrible names because I didn't. I just said is that I don't see things that way, and that's what I said. You know, but you do unintentionally sometimes have a habit of the way you sometimes come across isn't always complimentary, and I tried not to get upset about it. And I'm sorry if anyone's upset at me for saying that. Great. So everybody's mad at Michelle now because she expressed her viewpoint. I mean, Michelle tries to be polite about it, guys. Come on, give her a break. Cut her a little slack here. She's trying to do a show and trying to keep the show going while she's trying to deal with other questions she has in her own head. There are undercurrent questions like, is this going to be a good trip? Am I going to have problem navigating when my left leg starts getting tired and starts locking up? Am I going to be able to get things done? Am I at the risk of falling on the New York sidewalks or falling on the cheese graters? Am I going to have problems? Am I going to get mugged? I mean, that's the question. Are we going to get thrown out of places? That's the question she kept asking to herself internally. Am I gonna be able to make sure I hear Noodles correctly all the time? Am I gonna be? That's another thing I kept asking myself: is here I am. I'm trying to cope with hearing issues. Listening for a person with auditory processing disorder is exhausting. It's exhausting because your brain, 100% of your brain, has to go in to decipher every single thing that comes into your auditory nerves. And then you have to, if your brain processor is overwhelmed, and again, because the autism, Asperger's, whatever, you mess up. And then is that what I mean? Do people understand that what it's like to have multiple handicaps? I mean, that's the question. I mean, I'm here trying to show you how we deal with them and as best we can, and how we try to do the right thing as best we can. I think it's a good point. Yeah. Aristotle says, hello, laughing at Grez. Roll forces, she says it to us all the time. Okay, well, it's up to me. This is too dramatic for me. Well, let's see if we can keep it less stressful. I would love to. All right. Glad if I ask the questions? Go ahead. Did you have a good time on the trip? Yes. Did you like Trump Tower? I liked Trump Tower to a point. There was a couple things about Trump Towers. I don't know if that dark Italian marble would be quite my theme I would have gone with. I think I would have gone with a little bit lighter marble. But I'm not the architect, so I'll leave it to Trump's happy, and that's good for him. I'm glad he likes its tower, and it's a beautiful place. Um, did I enjoy seeing the opulence and the splendor? Absolutely. Did I love seeing all the work that was put in to make Trump Tower successful? Yes. Did I absolutely enjoy going out with noodles? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy? That's enough, Michelle. All right, next question. Did you think you did okay walking to and from Trump Tower despite your infirmities? I think so. Um, yeah, I know she didn't become a road pizza. If it was a road pizza, I wouldn't be here. All right, neither would I. Okay. Um, I think you did good with navigating the streets. And with my help, you were able to map back where you had to go and which turns you had to take. And I think you did beautiful there. Um, did you enjoy? Oh, the one place you didn't mention was the Little Slider restaurant. What did you think of that? Um, I think the food was very good, but I'd be honest that it was really because the way it was built, it was really really small, and the way the bar stools were because of space, I couldn't really get my legs around stool to sit properly, and so I was kind of sitting at kind of an awkward angle. Yeah. But the food was good. I had no problem with the burgers. The crowd was huge. The owner waved his hand at us and said hello to me and you. The Swiss noodles pointed them out to me. Um, the food was good. I mean, the sliders were certainly better than the Castle frozen ones. Oh yeah, definitely better than the White Castle frozen ones. Absolutely. That was reality. That's just better food. You got a chance to see the sliders being made because the flat top was right before us, so we got a chance to show you how they were making the sliders. Mm-hmm. That's right, she did. She showed you how to make the sliders, and it was just a good day. Um, I had nothing wrong with the day. I'm glad the day went fine too because I know that Michelle really, really wanted to have a chance to get out and get a little bit of fresh air. The weather was cooperative; it wasn't too hot. Absolutely, it got a little sticky in the end, but it was for the most part, a good day, and I had fun. And I know that, Noodles had fun too. We both did. And I think that's something to keep in mind. It says, dream, dream, dream. We need open panel. Well, fortunately, we're on the porch, so there is no open panel today. But we will be discussing this, I'm sure, in the morning show tomorrow. Yeah, on my channel. Monday morning, we could discuss this and on a panel. But for today, because this is Lumi's show, Lumi said she doesn't want to do the panel today. And I said that's fine. She said I want to go outside. She says it's mild out here and it's weather's decent and I want to do it in the studio. She said I could do it in the studio. She was thinking about it, but on the other hand, she said given the way that people were feeling already and reading the side chat, I think that when we realized that there would be a lot of yelling and screaming, and we just don't want to deal with that right now. You know, and if people are upset about the trip, I mean, we'd love to hear you talk about it. We'd love to hear you express your reason. You can certainly express it as comments. We'll try to keep up with them. We'll try to read them. You send Michelle emails. You send me email. Which you can send email to me at my email address is lumifinistra@gmail.com, or of course the Kayla3 at gmail.com. You can also send a message to me on my videos on my channel by commenting to at Lumi Finistra. You can also send comments to Michelle. I'm sending messages to at BICHELA4. Let's talk about why you got a 4 on YouTube and a 3 on email. I used to have a Bigale3 account, but I forgot my password on the YouTube side of it, and then it never got re-merged in when they combined YouTube and Gmail together. So, which means you could still start a Gmail3 account. Yeah. I could start, we did kind of, when we created but the old Bikila3 YouTube account is gone now, so it's kind of a moot point at this point. Yeah, it's been gone for about, what, 10 years? Yeah. So we understand that. So, just a lot of things. This is, says Michelle, you need to do open panel after this. Well, do you think, Lumi, we should do an open panel inside the house during Silver Moon? No, not during Silver Moon, because I don't think you should night show at all. I really don't, because I think there's a lot of anger, and I think a lot of people have a lot of feelings about they're upset, and you're upset that they're upset. Yeah, I'm upset they're upset, but I'm not upset because of anything else. It's just that I don't want people to be upset. But Silver Moon is great for when you want to have a good time, and I would love to have a good time. But I got a feeling that, given the anger I'm feeling and the animosity I'm feeling right now, and the fact that my shields are down, my empathic shields are not really up really that well right now, I think that it'd be better to be safe and just say hold off on the night show or panel show until maybe Monday morning, but at that time everybody will have calmed down and be willing to explain what's going on, why people are upset with each other, why they're upset with me, why they're upset with Noodles, why they're upset with. Uh, I just want to see people feel happy with each other, and I'm sorry if this trip really hurt a lot of people, and um, I just wish I could make people happy. Um, and now we don't need a pity party. No, we don't need a pity party. That's why I said we're not going to do a night show tonight, because I think that it doesn't feel right. And Michelle's not the one that's feeling the pity right now. Michelle was very happy to get out. She had a great time. Yes. And I think that's something to keep in mind. She had a great time. Noodles had a great time. It was a little stressful, but that's not uncommon, and I think it was a good show. It was a good time, and I think we should be thankful for the good time. And I want to see more people, remember this. This is not common for Michelle to go out as much anymore. And the reason why we didn't really talk much about that. Let's talk about what is the biggest hurdle you have uh, interacting with the social environment. I I don't do too well because of my hearing, and sometimes I can hear people okay in certain areas, like it was really quiet, stuff like that. And but I feel like a real moron when I'm trying to hear somebody and it's a noisy area, and I have to keep saying, "Can you repeat yourself?" When deep down, I really wish I could just tell myself, "Shut the fuck up, Michelle." Stop saying "repeat yourself." You sound like a moron, and you know you can't help it, but you want to make sure you understand correctly. So sometimes, you just try to say, "Yeah, no, whatever," even if you're not sure what the person's saying, which just gets you into trouble too, because they could have said something really, really outrageous, and you could have just said no to, like, I don't know. Let's come up with an example. Would you like to go ahead, go down the Niagara Fall in a barrel? And everybody say, yeah. Next thing you know, we're putting barrels around ourselves and going down the river. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Because you said you wanted to. Oh, stupid me. Why did I even say I want to do this? Now, that's frustrating. It's for me. And I really, really, it's one of the reasons why I do most of my shows in the house, is because our studio is set up with adaptive equipment, so allowing us to communicate clearly or more clearly, and and that's important. But when you're in the field, you have to do what you got, um, and that's exciting too. So, I mean, is it necessarily, i.e., let's make a super loud hearing aid that basically rattles the rafters when it's in Michelle's ears? No, because that actually creates distortion, and that doesn't help. My brain is already overwhelmed with all the other sensory, and then you're going to put super megaphone hearing aids in my ears. It's not going to help me hear better. It's just going to just frustrate me even further, because now I'm getting something where it's overdriven sound, and my brain is already overwhelmed. Um, so what I do is, like, when I'm in the studio, if my brain isn't working right with hearing, I can go look at the text, the speech to text on the screen, and I can see, follow along what's being said. But then I have to read the chats too, like I'm trying to do here. And that's okay. Don't feel bad about your behavior, guys. We can work together on that. I don't want anyone to feel like they're being ignored. But that's the problem, though, is when in fact, this Noodles didn't want Michelle reading all the questions on the screen, because all you would see her was holding the iPhone 8 up to her face. And he doesn't like that. They want to see you doing stuff. They want to see you doing things. Which Michelle said, that's absolutely fine, Noodles. But at the same time, they want me to answer the questions too. So how do I answer their questions and still be doing other things at the same time. It's a balancing act. And you have to remember that when you have bad eyesight, and we're talking about reading comments right now. We're not talking about hearing. You got bad eyesight. You're trying to read comments, but you got to get real close to the screen, like we're doing right here. And like Bree saying, it's okay. Yes, sir. Everyone has an off day periodically. Yes, they do. See now, look how close we are to read this. Okay, and this is a larger screen. So we're reading this screen like this to make sure that we understand everything that's going on. You know, tis Lumi, it's easy. So, as I said, it sounds like there's a lot of anger that was going on undercurrents in stream before. It had nothing to do with me and Michelle. And we're picking up some of that. That there's something that was going on yesterday and a whole 15-hour chat that we didn't know about. Now, let's talk briefly about some of the minor technical problems. The biggest one was when my iPhone 15 that we're streaming was down to 22% battery. Was I had no way to recharge it because I didn't bring the power bank with me. That's this thing here. I didn't have this with me. Um, so what I did was um, I said, well, my iPhone 8S has power. Let's just transfer the keys over or the application over to that. Well, that didn't quite go as well either because there was some technical problems with the iPhone 8 trying to keep up with Restream IO and was crashing too, and the camera would blank out and things like that. So there was that issue. Um, but we were able to keep the stream going as one big stream. But then, if you notice, there's blocks of emptiness where we had to shove the phones in the pocket and my purse and stuff like that too. These kind of streams take a lot of work to do and keep them up and keep them running. But obviously, given some of the comments, is someone didn't really understand what was going on. Um, why the camera was blanking out places a couple times. I couldn't see the screen in the bright sun. I accidentally triggered the wrong things on the phone, and that resulted in a bit of a mess too. Yeah, it did have a bit of a problem with the show, some problems with the camera. Yeah, because you accidentally get hit the wrong buttons or touches on the screen. So I think that the show was overall the show was great. It was a good long show though. 15 hours was very long. And anyone who wants to go back and watch that stream, it's going to take a while to read through that. Fortunately enough, once YouTube's new AI summarizer gets to it, it's going to be able to give you a full link to the live stream with timestamps. Give it about 48 hours. And what that will do, that's when you run a phone, you know how you have the comments and then you have the replay chat. And then there's a third dot. You slip over to that and it activates YouTube AI summarizer, which has got a chance to review the video and will allow you to answer questions about what was being said. I think I never tried if it works on my tablet. Yeah, I think it does. I've never really tried that on the tablet either. So I'll have to try and see how that works. But it's going to take about 48 hours to 72 hours to go through for the AI summarize to get the stream together. So there's going to be like 3 days, guys. So, be patient. Also, the stream was not monetized. It's just still were able to donate. Just as this stream is not monetized on my channel, of course, I can't be, but Michelle's is not either. No. No. I could monetize it, but I really think it's really important just to not be interrupted by ads and stuff like that right now. I just think you just need to truly understand what's going on. Right. see. He says, no, actually, there's nothing I have hell to say. I'm still here, says Gaster Smith. Like, yeah, you got Sear Smith. I'm really happy you're here. Um, Pretty Cat says, does anyone have a good recipe for fruitcake? No, no, no. Diane Gray said, I love the wig. You should dye the real hair brown. Yeah, we talked about that. But then people have gotten so used to Michelle having the blonde hair that Michelle likes the blonde hair. I during COVID, I had my hair. I re-dyed my hair brown. Yeah, and I had a love-hate relationship with it. First of all, um, for a variety of reasons, I had a huge part that was very like why I looked like female pattern baldness, which it kind of was. Let me explain why. Because there was a lot of stress in those dark years. Um, Up until 2020, we didn't really. We felt like we were losing everything. The knee injury didn't help anything, but the big C resulted in you couldn't go to the salon, you couldn't get your hair done. So I bought a box haircut, I dyed my hair brown because I knew my hair was going to grow out, and I did, and it looked fine. If you watch back some of my earlier videos from the time of 2020, you'll see my brown hair. My brown hair wig was my real hair was just brown, and the reason is that we wanted to be able to look good while we still during the pandemic, and so we did. That's why we dyed it brown. But it cost me like almost like $200 to get it all the brown dye out to go back to blonde, which is something that is kind of a deterrent is to go back to brown because what if you don't like it? Well, then you're stuck with it because then you're going to spend another $200 to get rid or lift out the brown dye and then go back to blonde again. And then you're going to be stripping the hair off your hair follicles again to go back to blonde. So it was just easier just to stay with blonde. And when Lumi's show, she's the one with the brown hair. You see the thumbnails. You got, in this case, in my channel, you probably see just me, maybe Lumi. You see two thumbnails of me and Lumi and maybe Carmen. That's because me and Lumi, I'm the blonde, Lumi's the brown, and Carmen's the brown. We have one picture of Carmen Miranda when she's wearing a show where her hair is green. Yeah, we don't use that one because that was cute, kind of stupid. Yes, that video was kind of stupid. I don't like the fact that the fruit was there in the hair and everything, but green hair, I looked like an alien. Understandable. So, I mean, so if Michelle goes back to brown, then how are people going to know the difference between Michelle and me? That's the question. Because, I mean, yeah, my voice is different. Michelle's voice is different. But it's really hard when you got two souls in the same body and you're trying to explain why each of us on our own shows, why we are doing things that we do. We want to have some, you know, autonomy. Autonomous. I want to be autonomous with Michelle, and when I can on my show, Michelle wants to be pretty much autonomous on her channel, but yet it's funny. Ironically, it says Coffee with Lumi and Michelle, and yet you see more Michelle on her channel than you see me. Yeah, and the reason is just because people get confused. And you try not to confuse them. Thank you very much, David. Thank you for the renewal. Absolutely, David. Thank you so much. How do I give hearts? Right there. Oh, what? Yeah, where's the heart button on this thing? I have no idea. But thank you very much, David, as for renewing. I appreciate that. Um, Bree said it showed up for me is that before our time to out. Brain dead, no, yes, here I did it by accident, but Trick says thank you for the donation. Thank you again for the membership, David S. So just want to say thank you for coming and being part of the show. And oh yes, thank you again. Thank you again. The budget level is the level that's the $2.99 plan. That's the cheaper monthly plan. There is a more expensive one. Um, it's like $4.99 a month. Yeah. Oh, you got some people that's called basic support. That's um a little bit higher level. For some people do renew to basic support. Some choose to stay with budget level. And the reason we have the levels is originally I wanted to just gift out the basic support, but it was $4.99, and YouTube said, "Oh, only can be memberships of less than $2.99." So, we reduced. We created the budget level for $2.99, and that's what we did. So that works out for most people. So thank you for the two memberships. One's the renewal and one is the new membership. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining. I really do appreciate your support and your kindness. And her eyes were closed, says row 4. I've timed out a few today, says Bree. I know. See that. No need to say who is or is not. Okay. So what I want to know, Michelle, is where's the little bubbles on the screen? I don't know. You have reactions to that? This is your screen. I think I do. Oh, all right. So we don't have any icons right now. So heart icon, heart icon, heart icon. Okay, it works for now. Yeah, absolutely. This is so putting text to anyone have a good wish for chitlins. Okay, they would have said, Bree, chill out, one timing on people. Please do, Bree. Just time out the really, really bad ones because Michelle doesn't want to start timing out excessively unless they're really act like a bunch of really bad people. She's kind of, and definitely don't hide anyone unless they're really, really repeat offenders and they keep coming in and trolling and just trying to disable the chat, screw up the chat. And if you think the timeout isn't working after like 2 or 3 of them, just when you have to hide them, that's fine. You know. Um, but as like Michelle said, we don't know everything about why everyone. I know he doesn't do panels much anymore, but Noodles does once in a while. Okay, thanks, Bree. Yeah, thank you, Bree. Um, that's a good question, Noodles. If maybe, given what happened, maybe you should do a panel on your channel if you feel it's necessary to express your viewpoint. If you think the panel is necessary, this is where you, as a content creator, you need to make that decision. There's nobody here that's going to deny that you have a valid point to want to say something. So make sure you bring it up to the show. You know, if you feel like you need to talk about it, just talk about it, like we're doing here. Because with us, it's because we're getting a chance to talk about it, and it's keeping things simple. People are getting to understand what we got to say, and we'll try to reach your chest too. Shooty Jackson says hi, Nance. Gigi said, Bree, quote, your heart is in the right place. Thank you. Yasser Smith says, hey. Gigi said, Sherry, great to see you. Great to see you, Sherry. Row 4 telephone meeting. David S. says, I'm a mod on a lot of channels and rarely time people out unless it's a known troll. Right. Well, that's true. But we don't necessarily want to just start timing people out or hiding them just because they're trolls. That depends on the trolls. Some trolls are humorous trolls. They're not really trying to be mean in a too mean way. They're just kind of like the class clowns. It's not quite the same as with the class bullies. Right. The ones that give you wedgies and steal your lunch money. Yeah, those those are the worst kind. The class clown that does stupid things like, tries to disrupt the class. It's sort of okay. I'm sure sometimes they're still going to be sent to the principal's office every so often, but it's not like they're really trying to hurt anybody. But it's actually, those class clowns still hurt other people's ability to learn in school. Yeah, but you know what? I think in comparing YouTube light trolls with class clowns, in some cases their humor does kind of lighten up the mood, and so we kind of accept that. It's like, that this show isn't really the most exciting in the world because there's a lot of feelings that I'm picking up, and people were feeling hurt. And so, yeah, a class clown pulling the fire alarm in school probably in some ways might make us all kind of face palm, but realize in this instance, now we can all run outside for the fire alarm and we all get a chance to kind of cool off and think about other things than the disappointing stuff. So, yeah, don't be afraid to do the equivalent, the metaphorical pull the fire alarm as you need to every so often. But just be sure not to do it too much on a metaphorical level, okay? Because we know why he's doing it. He's trying to get some comic relief. I get it. No problem there. Yes. You're still live. Wow. Well, yeah, we're still live because this is my show. And Yasir is very sweet and special. He doesn't deserve to be picked timed out. Okay, right. And he didn't seem like he was doing anything yesterday when I was reading the chat with him either. So leave him alone. Okay. I don't think he was trying to do anything mean yesterday. I think he thought he was getting a little bit ignored yesterday because I didn't get a chance to read the chat of everything that was going on. And that's something you got to remember, guys. When I'm with anyone, okay, sometimes trying to keep up with the chat and everything else going on can be very challenging. And so we sometimes mess up. And so some people feel like, oh, she's not reading the chat, she doesn't care. No, maybe the more answer should be, oh, she's not reading the chat, she's overwhelmed, she's doing other things right now. So maybe she'll go back to chat in a few minutes, which is really what we do. So if you think I don't care, change the answer to she's overwhelmed and she's trying to catch up. That's actually accurate. It's not that I don't care. It's just that sometimes I get overwhelmed trying, especially in a setting like in New York where you're dealing with a lot of things all at once. Trying to keep up with everything is very difficult to do. Even when now as the shows are growing bigger and faster, better, uh, it's taking us longer to keep up with the chat. Is going at a much faster rate than they used to be. Before it would be like a chat like every 3 seconds. Now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then instead of 1, 2, 3, exactly. So you got to keep up with this while you're still trying to put your thoughts together. You're trying to answer prior questions. So, Michelle, we need to panel up. We'll do that tomorrow morning show, guys. We will discuss it on open panel tomorrow. We'll discuss it tomorrow morning on the show, on morning show. Everybody said this. The morning show, we'll have our open panel on the morning show there. Lumi said, this is her show. She said, I don't want to do a panel here tonight. There's too many anger. There's too many angry people, and she was afraid that her show would have gone badly if she had open panels tonight. Maybe we should do one of the Silver Moon Radio if you really want, which sounds like a possibility. Um, but would people really be willing to miss out on Silver Moon? I don't know. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Um, I mean, it is an important topic. Me and Noodles, Noodles, I'm going to call you on the phone in a little bit before we go to Silver Moon Radio, or in this case, not Silver Moon Radio, but rather a special live show. And I want to know what's going on with you in private before we do a panel. Is that I know something's going on, and so what I'll do is I'll call you up on either Google Live or Google Phone or whatever they call it these days, Google Voice, or I'll call you on Discord in private, and we'll talk about this in private and find out what's going on, because I know that there's a lot that was said on your channel about you, and it caused a lot of pain, and I don't know enough of it to really bring it up tonight on the night show, but if we do bring it up on the night show, I want to know what it is first, so we can discuss it before we discuss it on the show, because we know there's a lot of opinions. I just rather just keep it simple. Okay, so we'll end the show about 5 o'clock. Oh, we try to keep an open mind. All right, I'll call your phone about 5. Okay, and we'll discuss it then, and then at 7, given what we discussed, we'll decide if we're going to bring it up as a live stream on my show on the GQU panel. Yeah, and try to catch a bit of chat's going on. So, because like I said, there's a lot of anger. I'm sensing it. There's just a lot of that anger in the side chat. Some are angry because of the way I lashed out at Gitchy last night, which was not intended to be a bad way of lashing out. I was just trying to address the concern. Yeah. And some were like, well, I'm mad at so and so, which is not Michelle, because I'm mad at so and so. I'm saying on Michelle's panel, Michelle's catching it, and if she's catching it, something's wrong. She doesn't know what's going on, so she's kind of lost, which is actually accurate. Because I am kind of lost because I don't have a clue of everybody's talking about. Last night we had so many people on the show. We had up to 55 people last night watching the stream, interacting, and that was a lot of people. And there was a lot of material. As I said, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how fast the chats are going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm trying to read all that really quick and finding myself overwhelmed. It's just what happens. So, Dale for real said, is Lumi all fucked up about on that dip? No. I think the chat likes talking amongst us. They do. Yes, they do enjoy talking among themselves. That's a very key thing in a lot of live streams. I see that, and that's fine. But for us commentators, especially those with bad eyesight, we have to kind of be able to read through it too, and we have to figure out if it's meant for us, meant for other people, and sometimes we get it wrong. We think that you guys are talking about us, and you're talking about somebody else, and then we get confused. So, yeah, that's real. That's a real thing. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, it's 4:09. I didn't really have much more to talk about. So, do you want to do a night show on Silver Moon tonight, or do you think we need to? I said I'll talk to Noodles first in phone call. So I'm going to call him first and find out what's going on. And then, based on what he and I talk about, we'll then make a decision what's going to happen with Silver Moon tonight. Okay. So, and what do you think with the weather right now? Well, it's going to be really hot in the next few days. It's gonna be at least 30 degrees. I think like 30, 29, 31, 30, 29 for like until Tuesday through Friday. Yeah. And then I get paid this week coming up tomorrow. Right. Tomorrow is payday for Michelle people from YouTube. This is for work for the show for June. June. Yes, this is June's payment of about $440. And the money for July is still being tabulated. It's easily close to 1,000. Easily. Yeah. So, there's a lot of things that need to go on that she wants to do. Um, and yes, we do want the air conditioner. But Michelle, if you get the air conditioner and Noodle said he's got to find the bracket that fits it, we're going to have to make some kind of a jig to put in the window. Exactly. We could still buy the dog bone adapter and then we can use it for not just the air conditioner. We could plug in the toaster oven in it. Or even if you had a microwave, plug a microwave into it. Yes. Okay. There you go. So you can have a toaster oven and or a microwave or a toaster or our electric griddle. Our electric griddle. Yes, we have one. We do. I don't usually cook anything on the electric griddle. It's been sitting above my cabinets for a long time because I haven't really had a use for it. Or what about the Noah cone maker that you used to make kun kagas on? Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Yes. Kind of get cool. Put them with fresh foods and stuff. Um, it's even better. You bet. Um, but so for now, everybody, I don't want anyone. Well, Mimi, he's gonna bring the AC. The dog bone adapter will be here. If I order it today, I'll probably have it here by Tuesday. Right. And since Noodles has the air conditioner and it looks like a big beefy one, it's gonna go in the kitchen window. It's gonna stick out quite a bit. It's gonna stick out where the fan is. And then we'll have to have another bucket like we do under other one to catch all the participant that comes out of it. And then our landlord requires us in the winter time to take the air conditioner out of the window. So we have to be able to get it in and out of the window. Right. So that was one of the reasons I wanted the rollaway one was because then I could roll it, even the one, the two hose one, I could roll it into the window, which is behind the door, stick the hoses through, and let it blow cold air, and then the exhaust the hot air out, and then it takes the air from outside, runs it through the evaporator coil or condenser coil. It's an evaporator or condenser coil. I got mixed up between the two. I don't know which one's which. The hot side. The hot side is the part that goes outside. That's what the two hoses are for. Yes. And then the cold side is where the cold air you want, which is in the apartment, which is where the actual unit itself sits. Correct. Also, you also saw one that also has a heat pump function. Yeah, that's kind of convenient. That's kind of convenient because if you get the heat pump one, it'll provide heat in the winter time. So before October 15th, when the landlord turns on the heat, Michelle can still provide heat for her apartment. And if it's big enough, it'll be more effective than those little electric fires she uses in the bedroom. Correct. So, we're working on it, but also, I wanted to ask you, Michelle, remember I told you got to stop worrying about what if and start talking about what is? Yes, we talked about that. In other words, stop worrying about what could be, but worry about what is. That's because if you start worrying about all possibilities, you're going to just scare yourself into decision paralysis and then nothing gets done at all. And that's bad. So stop worrying about what if. Cool your Virgo mind a bit, okay? Just relax a little more, okay? Everything is okay. Your basic needs are met. You have, 4 walls, a floor and a ceiling. You get 3 squares a day. you got a bed, you got a happy cat, you got a safe home in a safe town, and you are overall in good shape and you're doing good. There's no reason to worry about all the possible calamities and disasters that may never conceivably happen. I will try. You'll try. I know you will. Because I'll remind you every repeatedly. Um, did you go up Amish? No, but actually, Michelle grew up in a country town. It was very, very poor family. She didn't have a lot of money. So her father did try to raise the family with a nice middle income, but they in 1973, the oil embargo, her father saw his whole family business totally collapse, um, and then realizing at the same time that your daughter is legally blind and you have no training in legal blindness, and your other daughter's got problems with kidneys, problems with the water, kidney infections. It's it leaves a lot of things that her poor Michelle's father was overwhelmed on, trying to deal with raising a family, and so her family said to everybody, "You guys are going to have to basically throw a lot of effort into this yourselves. We have to reduce, reuse, recycle. We have to make do with what we got. You have to struggle with what you have because we don't have the money to make the world a perfect place. We don't have the kind of funds. If you want the perfect place, you're going to have to make it happen yourself because we can't do it for you." But the problem is since you're all minors at the point we're talking about, we are going to do the best we can. But when you guys are going to grow up, you guys are going to keep all these lessons in your heart. You're going to remember them. The survival mode, you know, that's what survival mode is. You grow up with that. You start to uh, learn how to make do with less. Yeah, Michelle still does that every day. Even though right now she's reaching a stage of abundance, she's always thinking this. It's so easy. One mistake, all of a sudden, you're right back where you were. So that's why she's trying to be careful. Thank you. Yeah. Um, Said for real, I want to apologize for last night. Okay. Her solo says message retracted. I'm not a minor. I know you're not a minor. Most of my people here in this channel on Michelle's channel are not minors. No, they're adults. Yeah. Can you be positive? Absolutely. Michelle can be positive. I'm sure many of you guys have positive sides too. And Michelle's trying to be positive. That's where the trip was great because you got to see Michelle in a way where she wasn't sitting there and crying in her milkshake, going, "Ah, I'm good for nothing. I can't see shit. I can't hear shit. I can't walk shit. I can't do shit." No, Michelle was actually showing her, I may have disabilities, but I'm still going to do the best I can. And that's what she did. That's what she did last night. That's why Noodles watched her as she was walking across the street from Trump Tower to the other side. He wanted to see how she dealt with the traffic. He wanted to see how she manages in the city by herself. And that's why she did that. But she did get a little confused with some of the blocks. And so she did ask me, you know, she remembered that we had to go on this one street, walk far down, and then we had to take a right. But she wasn't sure where to take the right. And I reminded her at the end of the block, take a right, okay? Keep going down. You're gonna see the little restaurant with the little tables and things. And she saw that, but she said, "Yeah, but I don't want to sit there because I'm not a paying customer and they may get upset with me." So she said, "But I want to also, I'm also getting kind of warm." So we went into the five guys and got shake. Not only so Michelle could rest her legs, but also so she could interact a little more with people. So her how she does manage to interact sometimes when she's a little more calm and relaxed. And that's what she did. So she did show you some of her street ability. It's not fantastic. It's not great. But when it comes to sales, she's pretty good. Right. Let's see. Next comment is just your hearing made it difficult. Yes, the hearing was definitely a problem. I already do. I already have a segment on my show. My channel, we discuss the way I see what's going on with Michelle. So if you ever go to my channel, for those of you who never made there, it's easy to get to. It's at LUMIFINISTRA. And we do talk about the way things I see what's going on, because I am the other cohabitant of this body. So I also, unfortunately, have the same bad ears, same bad eyes Michelle does. But I'm also watching Michelle interact with people. And of course, I'm usually staying passive about it, just listening, observing, and sometimes when we get a chance, when we're in private, we'll talk and say, okay, what do you think you did? And Michelle tell me, well, I think I messed up with so-and-so. And I really feel bad because I didn't understand everything that they were saying. And I really wish I could have been better. And that's why we have the hearing aid exam coming up in August on the 18th. Yeah, 18th. So we have the hearing aid exam with an otologist and also going to talk to a specialist regarding auditory processing disorder and see if we can get into a special adaptive therapy to help Michelle improve her ability to hear better um, with people. And she wants to do this. She's already said this. I want to do this. And she told this to her APRN. She said, I need to do this. This is not optional. This is affecting my ability to interact with people. And she agreed. So Beth Blatt said, okay, fine. I'll send you a referral. She got the referral. She made the appointment. She called the otologist's office. She made the appointment. And she's all set. So we're going to see what happens. We have to book the Uber. We have to book the Uber. We'll book the Uber. We'll get the Uber booked. And so that's important. Now, you also you're probably asking, why didn't you use your debit card instead of using your credit card? Well, the reason we use the debit card is the credit card is in some circumstances, her bank has anti-fraud protection. If they don't recognize the transaction, they'll block it. So imagine if you go Five Guys, you want to buy that milkshake, and it's just not a regular stop Michelle does. All of a sudden it says, I'm sorry, this account's declined. And then she has to call up the operations people, say, hey, yes, I did authorize that transaction. And they say, oh, you want to rerun it again? Well, it's a little vague. I paid with another card. And so it was, and also recommended advice from a couple other security people said, use your credit card or your Cash App card, because then you have a limited amount of money in the card. And so if somebody tries to fleece you, you're not going to lose your savings or your checking account. Your credit card will, your debit card, I'm sorry, your debit card will not be compromised, which is a terrible thing to get compromised. She uses that account to pay her bills. So that's why she used her credit card the whole time instead of her debit card, because she didn't want to have her card number out there exposed. Exactly. How you doing? How you doing, you two? How you doing, Don? Oh, then Mimi says she does. Okay, let's throw the backwards. It says, let me sound like Ray Romano. Sorry about that. Let's see. What else did you say? You said, Lumi, I have a date with a guy from the gym this Saturday. Should I let him grab my butt? Well, I can't tell you if you want to let him grab your butt. First of all, that's something you have to decide, based on how well the date goes. Okay, I mean, it's really up to you. If you feel like that's comfortable to you, that's fine. If not, no, it's really your decision. Because you're the one who has to make the decision. I can't tell you what to do. Absolutely agree. Don't forget that. By the way, yes, me, Michelle's voices are different. Yes, I know Ray. I know. Yes, I know Ray Romano from Everyone Knows Ray. I know the show. It's just the way the voices worked out. Um, After all these years of Michelle's vocal cords doing two different voices, it's almost like she's got a pretty widespread of voiciness, being able to voice different people. Yeah, and so let me scroll back to current chat. Are we at a? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Michelle is that family. Uh, Andrew, we're not trying to ramble. Just for the sake of rambling. No. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wrap it up. And I wanted to say thank you all for coming. We started a little early. We addressed the issues that we had to address. Michelle did say she would call Noodles. So Michelle's going to call Noodles and find out what's going on. And then based on that, she'll decide if there's going to be a 7 o'clock show. Right. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice day for at least a few hours, although it's coming on. Yep.